Today's question is, use digit cards to complete the missing information. How many ways can you find? We've got our digit cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we've got this equation here. We've got so many eighths is equal to 0 point something 25, which is equal to something to point something percent. You can use the digit cards more than once if you need to, and see how many solutions you can find. Best of luck. Okay, your time is up, and that was a tricky one. So let's have a look at how you could have got an answer for this. So the first clue you've got here is your eighths. So you know everything is split into eighths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out all the decimal values for eighths. So what I mean by that is if I took 1 as in the whole and I divided it by 8, what would 1/8 be? So 8 into 1 won't go. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to generate another column. We're going to move it over, and so now it's 8 into 10. 8 into 10 will go one time with 2 remainder, so I'm going to have to generate another column. And now into my hundredths column, and I carry that 2 over and it becomes 20. 8 into 20 go twice, because it's 16, but I've still got a remainder of 4. So I'm going to have to make a third. I'm going into the thousandths column, and I'm going to make 40 because I've carried 4 over. 8 into 4 go 5 times exactly. Don't forget my decimal point, and I've got to put my 0 in there. So I know that if I divide 1 by 8 to find a decimal eighth, that is going to be 0.125. So I just proved that 1/8 is equal to 0.125. Perfect. Now I want to do all the different eighths. So I want to know what 2/8 is and 3/8 is. And all I'm going to do is just multiply my value up. So 2/8 is 2 lots of 0.125. So it is 0.250. Except that 0 there isn't doing anything. It's beyond the last value, so we can actually get rid of it. So we can say it's the same as 0.25. Now I'm going to do 3/8, which is just another 0.125 more than 2/8. So that is 0.375. Now I'm going to do 4/8. Now you may have noticed that there are some equivalences going on here, because that one's a quarter, which is why it's 0.25. This one's a half. And if we do our adding on, we'll get 0.500. In this case, we've got 2 redundant zeros. These aren't doing anything, so we can say it's actually just 0.5. Right, we'll go on to 5/8. And 5/8, going to add on our 0.125 here, our 0.625. 6/8 are 0.750. Got a redundant 0 there, not doing any jobs, get rid of it. We've got 7/8, just keep adding on 1.25 every time. Sorry, 0.125 every time, and it's going to be 0.875. And finally 8/8, and if this has all gone to plan when I add the last one on, it will indeed equal 1. And then actually just, there's no value in the decimals, so they're all redundant. It actually just equals 1. So that's a whole. Fantastic. So now I know what each eighth is worth in decimal, I can actually check against what's possible. So my decimal has to be a 0.something25, so it has to end in 25. So that means it could be that. It can't be 0.25. That's not right. That in the tenths column we've got a 2, but in the hundredths column we need a 5. We haven't got one, so that one can't be right. This one ends 7.5. Nope. This one's got nothing in the hundredths and the thousandths at all, so it can't be that one. This one ends in 2-5, so it could be that one. We might be able to make that one work. This one ends in 5-0, 5-0, so it can't be that one. This ends in 7-5, and then this one ends 0-0, so that's no good at all. Right, so the only two possibilities I've got are 1/8 and 5/8. So what about the percentage? Well, actually, it's nice and simple from here, because all I need to do is take my decimal and multiply it by 100. So I think I know which two I can do. I think 1/8, I've already proved, is equal to 0 point, and then this is my number that I'm dropping in from a number card, 125, which is equal to, and all I'm going to do is multiply it by 100 to get my percentage. So I'm going to take my 0.125, I'm going to label my columns, units, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and I'm going to jump 2 spaces to the left. So this one is going to go from the units into a brand new column, the tenths. So that 1 ends up here. The 2 follows it, so it goes 1, 2 to the units. The decimal place does not move. And the 5 is going to go 1, 2 to the tenths. So my percentage value, I think, is 12.5, and I'm going to drop the 1 in there, the 2 in here, decimal place, and my next number is 5%. And that, I believe, is correct. But like we said, there's 2 possible answers. The other one that I think is correct is 5/8. So it's 5/8 is equal to 0 point, going to drop a number in here, 625, that's what we figured out earlier, which is equal to, and we're going to multiply by 100 again. I'm going to just move this one mentally, so I'm just going to move it across, and it's going to become 6.5%. Those are your possible answers. Well done if you got those.